is More Than Borderline with B. I am one of those days where I'm filming. I do not feel like filming. Actually was not gonna film. It's the end of the day. Just got done filming our live for wrestling, and it has not been a good day. It's not a great day, and I didn't necessarily handle it well either. Like, I like to think for the most part that I have my borderline pretty in check. I definitely am still in remission, but man, I struggle. Calypso be wanting to come out. And today was one of those days where she started getting out a little bit, and there were factors that stopped me from leaving, but my instinct is always to run. And I hate that it's still that. I definitely would have left. Thought about leaving several times. It didn't have anything to do with my husband, but there's just so much going on. And in general, when I'm overwhelmed and there's a lot going on, if I feel disrespected, if it just feels like out of control, like everything is going wrong. Even though I do believe and know that God is in control, and I want to rest in that. There are times I rest in that, but I do not always rest in that. And I feel like today is one of those days where I just feel like I don't have any choice. Like, I want to leave, but I can't leave because there's obligations, there's things I have to do. And as an adult, you know, whether I feel like working or not, bills need to be paid, right? And then even with our own business, you know, YouTube is not easy. So whether you feel like filming or not, you've got to film when the show is on. That's just the way that it is. And I mean, doing the show with my husband usually does help lift my spirits, but I had a massive allergy attack when I was filming. And so I literally was sneezing and blowing my nose the whole show, which is not great for any show. And it's a live show, so we couldn't just, you know. And so I'm not feeling great, physically, emotionally, mentally. I'm just not feeling great. And I wanted to film anyway because, number one, like I've said before, I've said that I'm going to film even when I don't feel up to filming, because the whole point of me doing a channel saying More Than Borderline is that, yeah, my borderline does not define who I am, but it does contribute to my struggle. And it's not the same every day, but there are times that I just really want to let her take over. And I know the reality of the consequence of what's on the other side of that. I've done that. I don't actually want to do that, but it's hard. It's hard when you feel disrespected. It's hard when you feel like you're giving everything you can and giving, and then instead of gratitude, it's entitlement and disrespect, and that I just don't do well with that. I don't know if anybody does well with that, but yeah, so I'm in a dark place. I really just wish I could just go somewhere and just be by myself for the weekend. But we have a big weekend coming. There's wrestling PLEs all weekend. We have to be live for them. And just like we had to go live tonight, even though neither one of us felt like it. But it doesn't matter. Like, as an adult, when you have something to do, when, like, I mean, we want to work for ourselves. Working for other people is not for us. Like, my life being, not my life, but my job, my well-being, my income being in someone else's hands, like, it's just not for us. And so, although I love and appreciate the job that I have. Like, if I was gonna do any job, I like the one that I have, but I do want to work for myself. And so we are trying to make that work, and it's just a lot of work. And I don't think some people even understand when you say you're a YouTuber, like, you really are at the mercy. There's been so many times I have been sick, I didn't feel good, where I'm just wanting to break down and cry, or I'm exhausted, or whatever's happening. And we just have to go live anyway. I mean, there's times where we didn't, like when I first broke my foot and things like that, where we just had no choice. There's been a few emergencies, but for the most part, we're pretty faithful to film anyway. And we know that there's an audience that's looking to us and looking forward to being there with us. And we look forward to it as well. And like my biggest thing was like, I really want to make sure that I'm still representing God, even when I feel like this, you know what I mean? When I feel like there's nothing about me that must be representing God right now, because it just feels so hard. And what really gets me through all of this is thinking like, at least this is temporary. And on the other side of this, I'll be able to just be in a place with God where there's no more tears and there's no more struggling with all of this. But for now, I do want to encourage you that even if you have borderline or depression or OCD or some kind of mental disability that is really like gnawing at you, to try and take over, because it all seems like it's too much, that even when it feels like it's too much and it feels like you can't go on, you can. Like, right? Because I've had these days before, and then I wake up and tomorrow's another day, and there's still so much to be grateful for and all of that. And I know I could stand back and I could look at that. Sometimes I just want to be mad, and sometimes I'm just hurt and I don't want to hear nothing good. I don't want to say nothing good. But I know enough, and I have enough good in me, because God helps me to not just give in to all of that and not act a complete fool. And so I feel like even though you're going to still struggle and you're going to have good days and bad days, there's a difference even in these days that are not my good days. They're still way better. My worst day with God is still better than my best day without him. Absolutely. Because I've walked away from him and let Calypso out and let her do her thing. And I not only did I hurt everybody I loved, but I hurt myself. I definitely hurt myself. And I already know that no matter what she's saying to me to make me think that I should let her out, I know better. And so I just want to encourage you that if you're struggling with whatever you're struggling with, you can have a bad day. You can have bad days, but you don't have to live a bad life. It doesn't have to rule you. It doesn't have to control you. You don't have to be obsessed with it. It doesn't have to last forever. Name your emotion. Feel your emotion. Go through your emotion. And when you survive it on the other side, you'll be able to tell yourself next time, I've been through this. It did pass. This will pass too. So I'm not having a good day. I'm not feeling good. I don't really even want to pretend like I have a smile right now. But this will pass, because tomorrow is another day. And I'm blessed to have. And even if it's not, then I'd be with the Lord. That's even better. So it really is all good. And I appreciate you guys tuning in, and pray for me. I would appreciate it. I know I'm usually trying to give encouragement, but I need it right now. So have a blessed night, everybody.